We've reduced all environmental concerns to climate, but there's still an actual environment. And Florida has a red tide problem that seems to be getting worse, and then there's some indication that it's hurting people neurologically. And it seems like kind of a disaster. What can be done about that?
Well, we've actually created an infrastructure in Florida, and I think it's a good thing, because like the Democrats and the left, they talk about, global warming, they're going to change the climate. Them forcing you an electrical vehicle is not going to change the climate when China is building a new coal plant every week. I mean, so just give me the break. This is trying to control your behavior. It's social engineering, and it's not something that's going to work. So what I've said in Florida is, okay, Democrats, I'm actually going to focus on the environment that Floridians like and enjoy, and that makes our state unique. So we tackled both blue-green algae, Everglades restoration, and red tide. We've created infrastructures and task force. We have money that will go in to do. So there's a lot of experiments being done on red tide right now with the program we put in, but you have to make a decision. Maybe it works in a lab, but if you do it out in the Gulf of Mexico, is it going to have any other cascading effects? So that's what they're studying right now. We think that there's some things that are going to be very good. Now, red tide is natural. I think most people know that. It's been detected going back into the 1800s. But what can we do to mitigate it, and what can we do to prevent being exacerbated? But we've done very well on environment, not because I'm doing kooky liberal things, but because I'm focusing on things that actually impact the daily lives of Floridians. And oh, by the way, I've never come to Iowa without someone coming up to me that they tell me they spend time in Marco Island or Sarasota or wherever, and I see half the Midwest down in Southwest Florida during the winter months.
And that's a good thing. But when you see half of New Jersey down there, does that make you worry?
So here's the truth. When I became governor, and I was born and raised in Florida, I had never seen a California license plate in the state of Florida in my life. And all of a sudden, we start seeing California plates. My supporters are like, uh-oh, who are these people? Because remember, I may have won by 20 points in November, but usually Florida races were 1%. So if you bring in 50,000 Californians, 50,000 people from New York, all of a sudden, it could be a blue state. We would have supporters go to supermarkets in like Palm Beach, find every New York or New Jersey license plate, put a flyer in the windshield and say, do not vote down here the way they vote up there. But what ended up happening was, I think we drew people who believed in what we were doing. It wasn't just these were liberals who just wanted no state income tax. There may have been some of those, but I think most of these people said, you know what? Florida's a free state. I'm not dealing with these lockdowns. Florida has kids in school. I'm not going to not have my kids be able to be in school. Florida has a 50-year low in the crime rate. I don't want to see rioting in my neighborhood. So there were a whole bunch of reasons why people did it, but the political orientation of it actually turned out pretty good.
So you're getting the good ones.
We're getting good ones. And you know what? We're converting people too. I mean, that's, I think, something that we have to do as a movement. You can't just preach only to the choir. I want to get some other people who may not have voted Republican in the past and get them on our team. And we've done that in Florida in record numbers. And I think it can be done across the country. We're up against a movement that is parroting woke ideology, that their message to the American people is that men can get pregnant. Really? That you should swim on the men's swim team for 3 years, switch to the women's team, and you can be the women's national champion? Most people don't buy that. And so I think we have an opportunity to really capture a lot of voters by representing a platform of common sense and sanity and traditional American values.
Amen.